Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So, Bhagavatam should always be here for the morning. Bhagavatam is our guiding in life.
Paramadvaiti, could you also tell something about Nityananda in us and how it works?
About Nityananda?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You have no idea?
Yes. Nityananda, what's the difference? Is the same? Nityananda, I have...
There's some speculation out there that you should only chant Nitai and not Gaur. We don't agree with that, because our Guru Deva has given us Nitai Gaur. We worship Nitai Gaur, we chant Nitai Gaur. So, but in ontology, Guru comes first. We cannot approach Krishna without Guru. And Guru is Nityananda. Guru is expanded Nityananda. Guru is expanded Radharani. But who can understand that? We can hardly understand when he tells us, read the Bhagavad Gita.
Sometimes also I hear that Nityananda is like the Guru in us.
Huh?
It's like the Guru in us.
That's a Chaitya Guru. That's Paramatma. That's a Chaitya Guru. But the Guru principle is there. So Paramatma is also Nityananda principle. You can say so. Everything which is Guru principle is Haribol Mata. Everything which is Guru principle, that is connected to the same source, to the same electric current. You may have this current plug and another plug and an extension, but it's always the current which you're connecting to. So the divine current of caring, that God cares for us, that you could call Nityananda. You can also call it Radharani, something Ananda Manjari. But this is very elevated information for my Guru Deva Srila Bhakti Rakshira Maharaj. Whenever some subject came up which are beyond our mind, he would take his hand over his hand like this. He says, "This is above my head. It doesn't go inside. I worship it. I keep my head under the feet of this divine teachings." Too much intellectualizing sometimes may become a disturbance. Like this one person who said we shouldn't chant Gaur, we should just chant Nitai. I think he got mentally disturbed, because even though he has some good arguments to say, but they're not valid, because Prabhupada, the Guru of the world, he gave us Gaur Nitai, he chanted Gaur Nitai, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, so why make changes there? Now if I may say, oh, Prabhupada is the greatest, Prabhupada is the great messenger, he's the savior of the world, so stop chanting Hare Krishna, let's chant Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Will that please Prabhupada? The principle is not wrong. He says, no, I will just chant the Guru's name. And then somebody else would say, no, not chant Prabhupada, chant Sadhu Maharaj, Sadhu Maharaj, Sadhu Maharaj. And another guy would say, no, we should chant Paramadvaiti, Paramadvaiti. Oh my God. And I'll go under the earth. So we shouldn't speculate. We should take things as we get them from Guru Deva. And now Srila Prabhupada is a high level, high power security of the correct. You can say so. Totally empowered, is Shakti Adesha Avatar, recognized on all levels. So it's a safe way to go his way. So the person who speculates about Nityananda, I like him personally, he's a very likable person, but sorry, that's not from Prabhupada. You can't say that. So sometimes people also to make themselves more important than others, then they stress something the others don't stress. And what that leads to some fanaticism and sectarianism, and my group is better than your group, because we know something you don't know, we know something you don't know, we do something you don't do, we do something you don't know. So, we are better in your work, we are lower. It's not Vaishnava.
It's separation.
Huh?
No, it's separation.
Separation, infatuation, it is self-aggrandizement, but hidden in philosophy. Hidden in philosophy, so that is, sometimes these things are noticeable in the world, but what can we do? If we see the sectarianism which sometimes shows up amongst Vaishnavas, we can't blame the Christians anymore for being so sectarian. We have a dose of it by ourselves. But is it correct? Is it that the attitude? Srila Prabhupada said, I did not come to change your religion. Said, I came to help you to become better people, more realized about the divine. And you apply that to you. And so there's some devotees, they even have a Jesus Christ statue in their temple, some on the altar. So then others say, oh, this is not Vaishnava. Okay, but it is a question of what your heart feels. If you feel that Jesus is also Guru Tattva and you want to remember that, what's the wrong with that? So the fanaticism, the orthodoxy, don't think, just imitate or do what you're told. I mean, it has a validity on its positive angle, but it has not much validity when it becomes separating from others and creating bad feelings, and that it doesn't do. Now, I don't have a statue of Jesus on my altar. Maybe I should, because I preach in Christian countries, but when I see Jesus, I have the problem. I start thinking about the Christians, and all my desire for spirituality disappears almost. I can't focus on Jesus independent from these Christians and what they did in the world. So I'm not eager. But like Sadhu Maharaj, he was taught in some Catholic school. He has a very beautiful feelings for Jesus, very highly respectful. It doesn't tarnish his Vaishnava feelings. And maybe he don't know all the details what the Christians did in the world. Maybe he has not heard about it because nobody told him, So he's not contaminated in this regard. Because it's a contamination to hear. When you hear, for example, one of my brothers, he wrote a book about the Inquisition. And he call it a spiritual terrorism. He called it. It's a very heavy book. When you read that book, you start shaking in your knees. No, thank you, never again. Keep these people away from you. So I come a world where you know all these things and you feel all these things and so on. So in this way, but spiritual life is very open, You should respect the feelings of others. That's the secret. Because if they have their faith built up in this way, like some people is really a Guru Nanak fan. Guru Nanak, a famous medieval time guru. People love him. So why disturb their faith? What's the use? Guru Nanak is supposed to have met even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and so many others. So this is it's a lovely part actually. You see the Lord, He is worshipped by many people in many different forms. But then you come to the confidential philosophy, and the confidential philosophy does get exclusive. because only if you know it, you're included in that exclusive realm. But that exclusivity has to be introduced in the forefront, in the first and final, love all, support all. If your exclusivity is love all, but love some more and ignore the others, then it doesn't make any sense anymore. Then it's actually self-defeating. It self-defeats. So nice. A little warmer here. But
one question, but in this case from Jesus that you took,
what's that?
no, in this case that you took Jesus as an example, and all the teachings and learnings from him that they seem to be very genuine, and they were understood or they were taught to the others very wrong. In this case, what happened? Like, how we have to take the teachings from him?
We don't have to.
No. I mean, because for example, myself, I was raised Catholic too, and I respect him, and I recognize him in a very high spiritual teacher. But then when I see the facts as you are doing, it's very bad what has happened in his name. But he's actually a very inspiring teacher.
Yeah, well, the truth is the truth, the beauty is the beauty. And the Guru represents beauty and truth. So, what is the problem here? Truth and beauty is truth and beauty. Give it with Krishna, give it with Jesus, give it with whatever you give. It's truth and beauty which we are worshipping. And that is, it's a universal principle. And I mean, if you ask the Jews, they will tell you that Jesus was an invention. They say this whole figure of Jesus, if you go in the studies of that, I read those books, they say he was actually a copy of there was a famous preacher, there was, who was having a similar name, and they made it up, and they made it up according to the Krishna lore. Hey, how is that? Born in a cowshed, persecuted by King Herodes, all the children killed in the area. Does it sound familiar?
Yes.
So now what happened? The Christians came to India and they claimed that the Hindus had copied it from the Christian. So they said that Krishna was an invention. So they preached that here in India until the discovery of the Heliodorus column. Heliodorus column was discovered in Madhya Pradesh. You look like you haven't heard about it.
No,
we have to read those books, you know. It's published in our books. Heliodorus column was a pillar which was archaeologically identified to be something like 300 before Christ. And in this column, this is signed by a king from Greece who had an ambassador in Madhya Pradesh. At that time, Madhya Pradesh was like an important place. And this Greek empire was expanding very much, and they had an ambassador there. And this ambassador, he put this column in honor of Vasudeva. And then he explains about Krishna and Balaram on the column. I don't remember the exact text, but it is a very clear, this king or this ambassador, he became a devotee of Lord Krishna before Christ even was dated. So when that column appeared, the Christians, now they don't say that. In those days, they were preaching that the Indians copied from Jesus the story, and this Krishna was an invention. But then some Jewish people turned around and they said, no, it's the other way around. The Christians copied it from India, and that Jesus is an invention. Now, what the heck? I mean, what? Do I really care about it? Not. I don't care about it because the Christian church started with vegetarianism. The Jesus figure was chosen by history or by whatever it is. Jesus figure was chosen to be a Essene, and the Essene was a Jewish group which believed in reincarnation, in karma, and in vegetarianism. So whoever believes in karma, individual responsibility, and vegetarianism, for us, he's a devotee. He's a transcendentalist. He's missing nothing. And that's why we are so close to some of the native cults in South America, because they believe in reincarnation, they believe in karma. Some believe in vegetarianism, not all of them, because there are many of them from hunters' background, from the jungles. So, anyhow, the Essene, they were known in the history, I mean, this is documented by secular scholars. So now Jesus was supposed to be an Essene. So was he going against his group, and preaching the opposite? No, I don't think so. And then, neither does the scripture say so. Only the multiple changes of the Bibles have like hodgepodged it up so that some confusion exists. But practically speaking, Bible teaching is thou shalt not kill. And those who kill an ox are just like killing a man, Old Testament. So that is obviously an instruction against cow killing, isn't it? Huh? So we have that right there. And then, very interestingly, appeared the sermons, or what you call the apocryphic books, which are the Sermon of Jesus of the 12, the Sermon of Jesus of... There's a few apocryph books, I forget the names. Actually, Vangsi translated one of them for me to Spanish, and I lost in the file. But Vangsi did that. So this apocryph, when you read them, you are hearing a Krishna Bhakta. He's talking about the divine, the dedication, caring of animals. That person in the apocryph, he's a great saint who's preaching to the Jewish people of those days and the Romans and whoever was there.
There are a lot of people, they believe that Jesus lived in India.
That's another one, the history of Jesus in Kashmir. That is also there. But anyhow, in Ladakh actually, in Ladakh is somewhere supposed to be his grave. Anyhow, I'll be back in a moment. Mohana, give some further introduction. I'm coming back.
Jai Guru Maharaj. Jai. So, Guru Maharaj, we talk about Bhagavatam, I hope. This Bhagavatam that we were reading last days, he was talking about the process of sadhana bhakti. Also, Bhakti Rasa Swami Maharaj, he was with us these days. He also was talking about that. I can share with you some words. Do you want? Yeah. He said that the essence of every instruction is chant Hare Krishna. Because there are many instructions in the books, the sadhus, everywhere. So if we chant Hare Krishna, then that all destruction will be successful. And for chant better, we can follow 5 steps. The first is listening. The second is to take a reflection about what I am listening. Not just listening for everything and accept everything. The third is accept Guru and his instruction, his service. The fourth is feeling established in one service. And the final is share with others the things that you are doing. This is beautiful things that I can share with you. And now, Maharaj.
I was just thinking something on the way, and that is, do I have to know all religions to practice my own? The answer is clear. No, because there's no way you're going to know all the religions. Does it mean that God doesn't care for you? No. Does it mean that God doesn't care for others? No. So we have a clear common sense evaluation. So I do not have to know all the religion to practice mine. I have no time for that. But I should respect all religion to practice mine. If I don't respect all religion to practice mine, then my own practice will be tarnished. It will not be so pure because I become discriminative. Now I may say, I don't respect those who hurt others, who give trouble to others. That is a reasonable proposal or a concept. We should not respect those who are going ahead and simply giving trouble to others. So our conclusion is that we should practice our religion very seriously, but we should also keep an open mind for those who are surrounding us. Because maybe I don't care so much for the religions the Australian Aborigines practice, because I've never been to Australia, I never met one single one of them, so I don't really care so much. But if I'm living in Australia and there's Australian Aborigines or original people there, no, I better respect what they do because they are now my neighbors, and if I know a little bit more about them, what they are thinking, what is their cosmology, their concept of the divine, I can respect that. And if you do so, then you may discover that God is looking after everybody according to their evolution by revealing certain things to them. And that's what it's all about. Now, sharing your good feelings about your religion with those who like to find out about it, that's not wrong. That is as good as education itself, is as good as conversation itself. That's why we have an ear, that's why we have a mouth, so that we can use it and share with others what good things we have discovered. And if I would not apply this, if I would not use this, I would never have found out about Prabhupada, I would never have found out about Hinduism, I would never have found out about what to do with my life, because I was pretty lost. So that is the clue: respect, regard, kindness. Don't hurt others. Go ahead, back to home, back to God. And that's what Prabhupada called his magazine, Back to Home, Back to God. Let's all go home. Let's all go to the spiritual sky. This is our only definitely sweet destination. And we hope to meet all of us. Can you imagine you go to the spiritual world and you're there and you meet with 10,000 people and you ask the Lord, hey my Lord, I was there in a place there were billions. What happened to them? Where were you? I was in planet Earth. And there were billions? Yeah, there were billions. Billions of human beings plus trillions of other species. Where are they now? I would like to know. I'm sure the Lord has a good answer for that. Because He knows everything. But it would not feel nice to be liberated with 10,000 people and the rest is gone. That's not nice. It's not a nice idea. So that's why the Harinam Sankirtan movement is concerned with everybody, with the animal souls as well. Shivananda Sena was accompanied by a dog when he went to Jagannath Puri. And when they were going to cross the river, the dog also jumped on. And then somebody said, hey, the dog, you have to pay for the dog also. And then Shivananda Sena paid the boatsman to take the dog over because he didn't want to reject this dog which had come along with them on that parikrama. So that dog went to Puri all the way to the end. And when that finally they got to meet Lord Chaitanya, when they went to Puri, the dog disappeared. So they didn't know, where's the dog? Then they finally went to take darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then, I don't remember exactly, but I think Mahaprabhu threw the dog also appeared again, and Mahaprabhu threw some prasadam at the dog, and the dog was chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, something like that. So the dog got the Vaishnava's mercy and then got the Lord's mercy and revealed. That's our philosophy. We don't see dog and cat. We see brothers and sisters in different bodies. And we should help all of them as much as we can. This is natural. That's why people's hearts are so much hurt when they see condition of the cow in today's world. So many people have cow sheds and they do things.
Maharaj,
Yes.
Nityananda Prabhu organizó el Panihati, o fue el señor Chaitanya, para darle comida. ¿Pueden recordarnos qué pasa el tiempo?
Panihati Fest. Also organized by Raghunath Goswami. I don't remember it very well. I have to read it again, but in that festival, I think Nityananda came and gave special mercy to him, and he put his foot on Raghunath's head, and after that everything went like perfectly sweet, swift. So, and it's Panihati is between Calcutta and Mayapur. So when we go to Calcutta, we always drive by the Panihati location. And some missions have a festival there yearly on the Panihati day. That day is remembered. Have you been there? No? Yeah. On Maharaj?
Yeah.
You have been to a Panihati festival or just to the place?
Not Panihati festival.
Yes?
Yes.
Organized by ISKCON?
It's a big festival, a big road, and everybody is there, doing prasad.
It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
Many missions are there.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know. I've never been to the festival, so.
Huh? They're going from Wryndawana,
Wow, even from here.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you know anything more about the story?
No, just what you said.
Just what I said, and that's what I heard. Okay, now we're going to take a little prasadam and then we get ready for our today's divine cleaning service. We have bags?
Sí, está todo listo. Quería decirle si quiere decirle a los otros que tenían reuniones si quieren adquirir su reunión.
Yeah, you want me to promote it?
Yes.
Anybody wants to... Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We have these nice t-shirts from Braj Wryndawana now, so you can obtain one for you to remind yourself and also to go out with one. So there is the possibility to obtain those. Most recommended. Huh? Short sleeve, long sleeve, many sizes.
What is written on? It's in Hindi.
Raj, Vrindavan, and now. And here, all we have a Hindi and we have in English, of course. Here you see. Raj, Vrindavan, and now. And here, you have all the things, because we have a website, and this website is reminding us of all the places in Raj. It's very an ample website.